So one of the things that I found interesting with this ChatGPT guy that was at this event, I would hear him talk about his book ideas or his books or whatever, and I really paid attention to how he was talking about his books. When you have written an epic fantasy, which is what he claimed to have written, or at least one of them, he's talking about these books, and none of his ideas mean anything. They sound like the kernel of an idea that is in its infancy, if not still gestating. It hasn't really become a whole idea even yet. It's just a concept. And he's talking about this in a way that I would describe as if you put that idea into ChatGPT and were like, is this a good idea? And it spit you back a bunch of its weird, narcissistic, it's great because this is revolutionary and blah, blah, blah. That's what his words sounded like. I'm like, the only way that you have engaged these ideas is in an AI chatbot. And it shows. People are, people, it's a small town. People are kind of polite to death. And they're just like nodding along, and then they would come over to my table, and I have, I've spent 25 years writing these books. And they'll tell me about your books. And, they kind of, their eyes are glazed over at this point because they're like, well, I'm just going to be polite and like ask this other gal. And I start talking to them about my books. Like, hey, imagine that it's 1780s, but a separate world with a lot of magic. But all the Marie Antoinettes of the world are immortal and they've gone insane. And they're like, what? They kind of stop. And they're like, that's like a whole premise. And, and I have great conversations. I sold a lot of books, I think, because of him. Even if they weren't like into really nerdy flintlock fantasy, they were so excited to see something that it was clear a lot of human thought and effort and creativity had gone into. They were like, yeah, I want to support that.